Now, MrBeast intentionally manipulates these children's vulnerable minds for profit using 3 simple steps which closely align with the 3 major types of behavioral learning. Step 1 is getting the viewer to associate the brand with trust and authority. MrBeast videos are real, and he's a great guy that gives away big rewards to his loyal followers.
Is he subscribed? You are subscribed. Here's some money. Have a good day.
Some of them feel like I just walk around with $1,000. It's like, oh, thanks for watching my videos.
Hit that subscribe button because you might bump into me in real life and it might make you a lot of money.
MrBeast fakes his videos in ways that are worse than you realize. I say that because he's been exposed for faking videos before, and the common response is, why does it matter if the videos are fake? They're just meant to be entertainment. A large part of MrBeast's brand is the fact that he doesn't fake videos.
I actually have to dial back my content sometimes just so people think it's real. Also, if what we had to film was scripted, you know, because what we do is not scripted, so you have to plan for a bunch of variables that you can't control, blah, blah. If what we did was scripted, holy shit, this stuff would be easy to pump out.
Have you ever faked a video?
No. But this train track is CGI, these bus wheels are CGI, this explosion is fake, this shredder is CGI, this car is digitally lifted, this pit is fake, this guy is fake. Trust MrBeast, watch him help others, contribute to his cause, and one day, he'll help you too. That's the formula.
Merciful heavens, that's our Jimmy!
There's something different about him. It looks like he's been working out.
Well, YouTube's about to change forever and not for the better. Holy shit. You know, I never thought the day would come where I'd be making a video like this about MrBeast, the guy who's dug wells in Africa, helped the blind see, built houses for the homeless. But it's not looking too good for our homie Jimmy right now. Now, a couple of days ago, this video came out from our homie Dogpack404 titled, "I worked for MrBeast. He's a fraud." And in this video, he alleges that MrBeast fakes some of his videos and stages some of his challenges, mixing in real contestants with people who work for him to manipulate how some of these videos play out. Which is honestly something I hope turns out to not be true, because with the corporatization slash MrBeastification of YouTube changing the entire landscape, not for the better in my personal opinion, it's honestly not a very good look for the biggest YouTube channel on the entire planet, especially given the allegations that just came out against his homie Chris Tyson, which I'll have some links in the description for videos about that. That's a whole nother situation. But yeah, enough of me yapping, let's just get right into this, man.
Lifted. This pit is fake, this guy is fake, this raccoon is a paid actor, this island costs more than $1, this city is not abandoned, these buildings are CGI, but it's not your only way out. You can literally get an Uber to the airport for $20. That's not a lurker. It's just a guy. This whole room is fake. This contestant is an actor and a secret employee at MrBeast. They had him dive through this fake door twice. This line is scripted. This action is scripted. In fact, pretty much all the videos with Mac are scripted.
Well, obviously the whole raccoon is a paid actor thing was a joke. I mean, come on, anybody with 2 brain cells can see that. But there has been a MrBeast employee come out to rebuttal or try and debunk some of these claims, specifically this part that he's talking about right here. And he mentions the raccoon bit, like, obviously nobody thought that Rocket Raccoon from the Guardians of the Galaxy was actually pulling up in a MrBeast video. So I feel like even mentioning that, honestly, on both parties was kind of weird. If this was supposed to be a super serious video exposing MrBeast, why even have, like, something like that at all? Because, I mean, people on the internet are stupid now, genuinely, and would actually take this seriously, and that's what it looks like happened.
Let's talk about Mac for a second.
We will die. Do you understand that?
I found public records showing that Mac moved from California to Greenville, North Carolina, where Jimmy is located, back in August 2023, 2 months before he appeared as a contestant. According to a former MrBeast employee, this is around the time when Mac started working full-time on the editing team at MrBeast.
Now, I do personally think that it is kind of weird to take your regular employees that are supposed to be working behind the scenes and put them in front of a camera and just not mention at all that, hey, this person who's doing this challenge and winning these challenges is actually employed by me under contract, gets a paycheck from me every week or every month or whatever. I'm not gonna lie, that does seem kind of fishy, bro.
Also, he didn't just move into any old house, he moved into a $1 million mansion. But I did find pictures of this mansion online, so I fed them into ChatGPT and asked it to create similar images. And this is what it came up with. And it's honestly not that far off. His 6,000 square foot $1 million mansion comes with a movie theater and 7 bathrooms.
What are you gonna spend the $800,000 on?
I mean, my life's changed now.
Yeah, I'm sure that $800,000 is really gonna change your life.
Max, this is a nice car.
Tell me, where are we right now?
We're in the place that we drove to a few minutes ago.
Mac, let's cut the shit here. What have you been doing for like the last year?
A lot of family stuff.
What kind of family stuff?
Just like, you know, playing catch with my dad, you know.
For a year? How do you make money? How are you, like, surviving?
Basically, like, my main strategy is I go to, like grocery store type places.
Grocery store type places?
Yeah, and I basically, what I'll do when I get there, I usually get, like an amount of food that would feed me for, like, a week or so, right?
With what money?
The money that I've made.
How did you make it?
Huh? Where, listen, You're getting too caught up in the details.
Now, I will say this is one of the more damning pieces of evidence, because why couldn't homie just out loud say, outside of the YouTube channel for MrBeast, how he makes money? If he was being employed by MrBeast at this time, why can't you say, hey, I'm working for MrBeast. I'm working behind the scenes, blah, 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 blah. This is how I'm getting paid. Like, he's, like, that seems really fishy to me. That seems really sus, bro. It kind of seems like maybe there was an NDA signed here or something where he can't talk about working for MrBeast at all. And I wouldn't doubt that NDAs being a part of MrBeast videos is something that would be common, given the fact that, like, nobody really knows what MrBeast's next challenges are going to be unless he or people in the video themselves tweet out, hey, I'm a big YouTuber, I'm going to be in this crazy video. Usually you don't even know what he's going to be doing next, because that's part of the whole hype of MrBeast. Oh my god, MrBeast just bought the entire country of China and freed all the child slaves. Now we have no more iPhones. How is he going to top this? And if people knew, you know, 3 weeks before the video came out what the video was going to be, it would kind of kill the hype. So if this guy was under some type of NDA with MrBeast, I wouldn't be surprised. I haven't seen any evidence of that yet or in any of the video that I've watched ahead of time, but it would not surprise me at all. Which again, I think is something that is really weird. When did we get to a point as like YouTubers and creating content on YouTube to where we have entire corporate conglomerates like MrBeast Company, because MrBeast is like a company now at this point. It used to just be people in their bedrooms having fun, chilling, making videos with their friends, all right? Even people who were vlogging, it was just them, a camera, and some homies going somewhere. It is kind of crazy in just the span of 4 short years, the entire internet has shifted its way of viewing content creation. Because when did uploading a YouTube video be like having its secret info on a Marvel movie? Because that's what this feels like to me, right? Like this dude's like being like, how do I make money? Oh man, I don't know. I can't really tell you, bro. Like, I know something you don't know. Now again, with the same dude on Twitter I mentioned earlier, homeboy Chucky, right? He mentioned that he moved into a mansion 2 months before being in a video, $1 million mansion. He talks about how 2 months before we filmed the first Mac video that he moved into a mansion. Mac was staying at a friend's house, and I'm not sure how that proves anything or why it's relevant. And in my personal opinion, I feel like it's pretty relevant, right? Because if somebody who's already like rich, knew MrBeast, came up on all these challenges and is acting all like, man, this money I'm winning is gonna change my life forever. Okay, a millionaire saying, oh man, I just got 800K. This is going to change my life forever. Oh my god, I was so poor before this. Is not exactly a very heartwarming story, right? Like if you see someone who's trying to pay off their school bills for college, their mom's medical bills, and they win a MrBeast challenge, it's like, yo, these people really needed the money. But framing this Matt guy as just your average Joe Schmo who just happened to get almost $1 million when, given the evidence provided, that doesn't really seem the case, that does seem kind of scummy to paint him that way when he's really not. I mean, the dude had a $100,000 Tesla. Whether he's still paying that off or not, he has the money in the current economy to make a car payment on a $100,000 car. Your average Joe Schmo does not have a $100,000 Tesla, bro.
They'll figure it out. They'll figure it out.
We will die. Do you understand that?
During this time lapse on the 4th day of 7 days stranded at sea, you can clearly see there's no one in the shelter. These are their empty beds. But after a hard cut, magically 5 people are awake, and 2 of the boys have bright yellow raincoats that they didn't have when it rained on day 2. Now, when it comes to MrBeast faking videos, I would say this is the most damning piece of evidence. Where did they go? Where were these people? You can see the entire shot of this boat, and there is nobody. Nobody's there. Where did homies go? Did they turn into invisible or something? Now, honestly, this is something that I would want to see MrBeast respond to personally, alright? Because he already made a response about the Chris Tyson stuff, but if there was something going on with the shooting, so say there was a big storm on the ocean, because clearly they had like a boat sitting somewhere nearby just in case an emergency happened, right? Because so say like somebody's arm got bit off by a shark, they would need to get to a hospital immediately. So clearly there was some type of boat somewhere watching them to make sure they were safe. It would honestly be insanely irresponsible if they didn't, because I mean, if somebody genuinely got hurt, then we would see on the news, MrBeast dies on boat because he's a dumbass. And why not just admit in the video, hey, we had to spend a couple hours off the boat onto the safety boat that's off camera because the waves were too big and we almost like genuinely got hurt. I feel like people would understand and be like, yo, we want to enjoy these videos. You know, if you need to make sure that you're safe first, then that's cool. Like, maybe it'll take away from the magic of the video, but who cares, dude? Nobody wants to see MrBeast die. But I guess admitting, hey, guys, we couldn't be on the boat the entire time kind of takes away from the magic of the video or whatever, but it's still overall not a good look. Like, this is a pretty damning piece of evidence.
And after standing the whole night completely soaked...
You didn't spend the night soaked, Jimmy. You slept on the production yacht. It's ironic because this is one of the videos where they claim that they don't fake things.
But no, we have to be the real channel that doesn't fake things.
In this video, this wink Wink was added in post. In fact, 58 was actually on the far opposite side of the room from 42, and he just didn't hear him. This whole revenge storyline was added in post. Multiple shots show how timers are edited in post. Timers are edited in post. Timers are edited in post. They also manipulated contestants' audio in post.
Now, this is something I will say that pretty much every game show type thing does. Like, if you watch Survivor, right, they film themselves after they do whatever challenge, and then they talk about what happened during it, and then they cut that into the middle of the challenge, right? So say they need to hike 5 miles for some firewood, and then they cut to the main dude that they're focusing on being like, yeah, man, the trek was so hard. Stupid Tommy stole my piece of firewood. They didn't just stop the guy in the middle of the hike and be like, hey, yo, stand behind this green screen real quick so you can talk about it. They recorded it after and then cut it in later. But I do also find it kind of odd that MrBeast is constantly having to say, yo, we don't fake our videos, we don't fake our videos, because if you constantly have to say something like that, it's like Logic saying, yeah, I'm black, bro. I swear to God, I can say no. Especially when MrBeast got his start, literally live streaming himself, counting to 100,000, spinning a fidget spinner for 10 hours, stuff like that, that there is clearly logs and proof of him doing these things for real. Like, he built up his own reputation of his videos being real. Why constantly have to state, yes, they are real? And again, I'm going to bring up our homeboy Chuck over on Twitter. He does talk about, like, this being added in post with the wink and whatever. Now, personally to me, it doesn't really seem like that wink was added in post. I don't know, maybe MrBeast has an insane CGI team, but this one kind of seems like a far stretch. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like picking his more game show type of video where clearly, like, filming stuff afterwards, or where they have a gazillion editors, because this is like terabytes on terabytes of footage. Like, there was like, what, 100 people for this challenge that he's mentioning? So I heard in a clip somewhere that MrBeast had to hire like 50 editors for this video to go over the thousands of hours of footage, right? Having a couple of mistakes here and there, I feel like is something that would be warranted, so I feel like giving MrBeast some leniency on this one would be, I don't know, legitimate. Because like I mentioned earlier about the whole Survivor thing, that is something that every single one of those types of shows do. They all do it. Every single one. So I feel like maybe filming some stuff in post for a little bit more dramatic effect isn't really as damning. That doesn't really seem like the video was fake, because these people actually were doing the challenges. They were in those boxes. So this one just kind of seems like a really weak point in my opinion.
Who really cares? I mean, the videos are just for entertainment only, right? I mean, it's not like he's ever rigged the results of a challenge. That would be impossible because he films with hundreds of random subscribers, right? Wrong. Let's look at this video. Not only were the results of this video completely scripted, but the contestants are not random subscribers.
So many people had jobs.
Oh, that contestant had to get out for her job? I guess you forgot she's your hiring manager. I actually recognize a lot of people in this video, including Jimmy's own girlfriend.
Now, I will say it does seem kind of disingenuous to say a lot of people had to leave the challenge early because of their jobs and then cut to a clip of someone who literally works for you. That does seem kind of manipulative. And this is also something that I have personally wondered my entire time watching MrBeast and him saying that random subscribers are showing up for these challenges. Because how do you just ask off of work? Like, how do you know how much time to ask off? You're just like, yeah, I might be gone for a week, 2 weeks. Anybody that works in retail would not be able to do that, all right? If you work in retail, being like, hey, I might be gone for 3 days or 3 weeks. It just depends on how long the MrBeast video takes to film. Also, just thinking about it, you know, logistically, how do you coordinate this many people asking off at the exact same time? Like, how do people's jobs don't work like that? So clearly the pool that MrBeast is selecting his people that are random subscribers to come in his videos have to come from a very specific demographic or either be really close to him. Because some companies have what's known as blackout dates, which means you're not allowed to request off for vacation or PTO during these specific times. It's a very common thing amongst a lot of companies. Just the coordination for that seems insane, which I'm not saying that it's literally impossible, because I would imagine that the scenario of, oh yeah, you got picked to be in a MrBeast video, oh sorry, I can't take it because my work won't let me request off that many days, or I don't have X amount of vacation time, or it just doesn't work out. I would imagine that that happens a lot.
So yeah, the random subscribers you see in challenges are actually never random. They're almost always local to MrBeast and oftentimes friends and family of MrBeast employees or just the employees themselves. And when they do pull someone from outside of North Carolina, it's usually somebody who's in the industry, who's camera trained, who has built a following.
Hey, anyone I'm friends with watching that wants 10 grand?
They are never random subscribers. If you subscribe, you will not win $1 million. And what's even worse is that the results of this video were completely scripted. According to a former MrBeast employee, it would have been a PR problem if the boys had won by a lot. And because so many of the female contestants were MrBeast employees who got out immediately, production stepped in to actually make the results of the challenge closer. You can actually see some of this happen on camera, like when Jimmy pays one of the boys $10,000 to leave, which is twice as much as the actual prize money. But doesn't make the same offer to the girls.
Now, in this specific instance, I would say that just kind of seems like MrBeast trying to make it more fair because, I mean, let's be real, biology is a factor whenever it comes to physical challenges. I mean, dudes, for the most part, are just built... We're built a little bit stronger than the average woman. Not me, though. I'm built like a twink. I'm a twig. Literally, you could snap me in half with one hand. But it is kind of weird that they're worried about a PR nightmare. Oh my god, what if the boys beat the girls, bro? We can't have sexism allegations, which is kind of funny given all the allegations that are coming out now. But again, our homie Chuck over on Twitter said that the reason why there were employees on this video is because this was filmed around COVID, and people tested positive for COVID last minute, so they had employees fill in so they could still film the challenge, which personally I believe is a valid reason to have employees on each team, because if you need people to fill in last second so you can actually have 100 boys versus 100 girls, I imagine if 20 people tested positive for COVID 2 days before filming, it'd be kind of hard to get random subscribers to ask off work and take time off and then fly out for this video.
So knowing that MrBeast likes the results to be close and that offstage producers can sort of influence how a challenge progresses, I want to show one more example. This is a real-time video, meaning that time elapses the same in the video as it does in real life. Now immediately the intro is sped up, and the timer is clearly added in post, and he clearly touches the laser here, but whatever, let's assume that it's all real-time. When he reaches the bottom floor, he has to turn these water valves. Now you can tell that these valves aren't actually connected to anything because the water flows out in an instant, and it happens when he's not even touching the valve. The contestant also goes back to the first valve unaware that anything had happened, and he's still able to spin it. So the valve seems to spin freely and isn't actually connected to the flow of water. So you could assume that producers might be off camera with remote switches to trigger the flow of water.
No, honestly, I don't know jack about valves and switches or none of that. Okay, I skateboard, smoke weed, and make memes on YouTube. I'm a forklift driver and inventory manager as my day job, so I don't know jack about engineering, okay? And also, this video is like an hour long, so I will pin this in the comments or in the description somewhere, so if you guys want to watch the entire thing, you can go do that yourselves. But given the fact that there have been people coming out saying, yeah, no, there's this video and that video that MrBeast did that was real, I can vouch, I did receive this money, or this actually did happen, which a lot of these statements that I've seen from people coming out about their experiences on Twitter aren't really mentioned in this video almost at all. And the stuff that is addressed kind of seems like a he said, she said situation, and it's really muddy. And honestly, MrBeast probably needs to respond to this personally and not give some stupid corpo, I asked my lawyers what I should say. Which is crazy that that's even a thing people do as YouTubers, right? Like, since when did we even need I need to ask my lawyer, my PR team? Why do YouTubers have PR team? Like I was saying earlier, how MrBeast changed YouTube for kind of the worst. The MrBeastification of YouTube was very evident. When MrBeast started doing the circle challenge, there was a gazillion other channels doing the exact same thing. With the exact same editing style, the exact same format, the exact same, here's a vine boom, here's a thing, here's this, there's things everywhere, oh my god, gotta get that audience retention up from all the 12-year-olds. And even MrBeast himself said not too long ago that he wants to slow down his videos because even he noticed that YouTube has gotten really bad with that, and now we have brain rot stuff where there's literally sounds and pictures every 2 seconds because people's attention spans are absolutely cooked. Which isn't entirely just his fault, I mean, TikTok has a hand too. But also just the fact that the quality of YouTube videos, which is expected now, was absolutely insane. Like, it almost seems like you have to have an entire movie production to make a YouTube video, instead of just being dudes in their bedrooms. Oh, Lofi, you just don't want to work hard, you don't want to put in effort, you lazy son of a bitch. Yeah, well, I'm not the only one who feels this way. Actually, Jacksepticeye brought this up not too long ago.
Do you think MrBeast ruined YouTube? Yes. Now, in all honesty, Jack, why? Because it became more about views, money, and popularity than it did about having fun. You just don't think you had fun playing Squid Games?
You think he had fun riding on yachts?
If he
building wells in Africa? I don't know.
If he had fun doing those videos, they'd be longer.
Now, I'm not going to sit here and drag down MrBeast's success. I mean, clearly he figured out how to work the algorithm and literally become the #1 most subscribed to YouTube channel for a reason. Now, Jacksepticeye and everybody that agreed with him got shit on heavy when he first said this, but honestly, I agree with him. I wish I had been uploading on YouTube at the time this came out because, oh my god, I can't even tell you how many creators that I talked to behind the scene. Not even just some smaller like my size. I got homies with millions of subscribers that have been saying this for years. Now, honestly, YouTube getting to this point where it's more corporate, more polished, more, hey, we need to have 8K quality and it literally looked like you're going inside of a movie theater was inevitable. I mean, we can't lie. These companies were eventually going to see that, hey, there's money to be made on the internet and get it to this point, but MrBeast kind of pushed it forward a little bit in my personal opinion. Not even just him. Look what happened to the FaZe company. They got so corpo that they literally had FaZe chicken nuggets. Who's out here buying FaZe chicken nuggets, bro? But to get back on the topic of MrBeast, having low-key admitted himself that the content's been way too fast-paced and honestly kind of ruined YouTube, after YouTube has been pushing their YouTube Premium app to literally, like, replace cable television and all the streaming services. If you've seen any YouTube Premium ads on, like, you know, anywhere, it's, why pay for Hulu? Why pay for Netflix? Why pay for cable? You could just live stream all these football games and everything on YouTube Premium. YouTube is actively trying to replace streaming services and cable television, which, I mean, we all knew would probably happen eventually, but if it weren't for channels like MrBeast, if it weren't for the corporatization of FaZe and all these other gaming orgs and all these other big YouTubers making huge companies, I don't think it would have happened this fast. I feel like we might have had a few more golden years before everything just went full corpo and super polished content was the only stuff that got, you know, on the For You page, trending page, whatever. Shoot, you can barely curse now without having to wait for a manual review by a YouTube employee. Like, I barely curse in this video on purpose. I don't know, I guess I'm just ranting here at the end, but at the end of the day, bro, I feel like MrBeast needs to address all this stuff. It's honestly kind of crazy that this is happening to a guy that I watched spin a fidget spinner for 100 hours or whatever back in the day when I was like a teenager. And the fact that there's this many people with so similar stories about behind the scenes stuff with MrBeast, there's a lot of nothing burgers I've seen out there, people just complaining for no reason because they want clout. And there's also a lot of stuff that seems to have legitimate validity to it, especially some of the things in this guy's video that we were looking at today. I feel like it raises enough questions for at least it to be looked into. Now, honestly, I don't know if this will change YouTube for its entirety. It may not. Honestly, MrBeast is the biggest YouTube channel. I don't see how this wouldn't negatively affect YouTube in some way, shape, or form. I mean, YouTube's like actively suppressing videos about Chris Tyson, which is, I think, is kind of crazy. All my commentary homies have been getting their videos age restricted, which, you know, YouTube is clearly trying to cover something up. At the end of the day, this entire situation is overall just kind of crazy. I never imagined that I'd even be reacting to a video like this about a content creator that I personally watched for years on years when I was a teenager. It's honestly kind of crazy. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, slap a fat like on it, and if you do subscribe, I'd really appreciate that. This is, I guess, one of the more serious videos I did, so moral of this video is just be yourself, man. If you're trying to come up as a YouTuber, especially now, I feel like people are just craving authenticity and people just being real and being honest. Just be yourself. I know it sounds cliche, but honestly, just be yourself and have fun. That's the best way to do YouTube, in my opinion. Because if you're not having fun, then what's the point? Seriously, though, all this craziness aside from the past couple of days, I really hope you guys are all having a fantastic day. I've been Lofi. Peace out, broskies.